I've always prided myself on my honesty. But recently, I decided that I would not speak unless I could say the complete truth. This has made it oh so much harder to talk about things that are important to me. Samantha, I wouldn't change a thing about our prom night. Not even my ridiculous powder blue tuxedo. But I have spent so many wishing that we could have had a different ending. I lost track of the number of times I called you crazy, and every time I did, I was so of myself. Do you remember what you said to me the first time we sat and watched the meteor shower, and you put my hand on your left breast and you offered me? I still can't. All I could say was, Helen Keller once wrote, "There's beauty in everything, even darkness and silence." In these three poems, Silent by Jared Singer, Beethoven by Shane Quakeson, and Tamara's Opus by Joshua Bennett, we see the power in the use of silence. Silence is truth. Silence is sound. Silence is perfection. Dad, you are the I have ever met. Thank you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be half the I am today. Do you remember what you said to me the first time I came home with a broken arm? You said, "Jared, why don't you just..." And I did, Dad. I have spent the rest of my life trying to... If I ever have kids, I'll teach them one thing. I'll teach them... It'll be because of you, Dad. I am so... of you. The first woman told me that I was the only short guy she ever wanted. I could only say... And I think I almost married her. But by the third woman, tell me that I was the only short guy she ever wanted. I knew to say. I think a lot about the other women, about the ones who didn't tell me why they wanted to take me. I know that if they did, they'd say, I just want you all to know. The thing about the complete truth is that it is so rarely one thing. I just want to leave room for all of the answers while still being an honest man. So how come every time I reach for the truth, it... Listen, his father made a habit out of hitting him. See, some men drink, some men yell, some men hit their children. This man did it all because all men want their boys to be geniuses. Beethoven, a little boy lived in a house where a name meant nothing, who heard his father's anthem every time he put finger to ivory. It was not good enough. So he played slowly, not good enough. So he played softly, not good enough. So he played strongly, not good enough. And when he could play no more, his fingers cramped up in the notes to tree trunks, it was not good enough. Beethoven, musician without his most precious tool, his eardrums could no longer pound out the rhythms the symphonies playing in his mind. He couldn't hear the audiences clapping, couldn't hear the people loving him, couldn't hear the women in the front row whispering, Beethoven. As let the music invade their nervous system, like an armada marching through, firing cannonballs, detonating every molecule in their body into explosion of heavenly sensation, each note leaving track marks over every inch of their body, making them ache for one more hit. He was an addiction. In kings, queens, it didn't matter. The man got down on his knees for no one, but amputated the legs of his piano so he could feel the vibrations of the floor. The man got down on his knees for music. And when the orchestras played his symphonies, it was the echoes of his father's anthem repeating itself like a broken record, but broken record, it was not good enough. So they played slowly, not good enough. So they played softly, not good enough. So they played strongly, not good enough. So they tried to mock the man, making fun of the madness, mimicking the movements, holding their bows a quarter of an inch above the strings, not making a sound. It was perfect. See, the deaf have an intimacy with silence. It's there in their dreams. And the musicians turned to one another, not knowing what to make of the man, trying to calculate the distance between madness and genius. Knowing that Beethoven's musical measurements could take you the distances reaching past the towers of Babylon, turning solar system into symbols that were so loud they shook the constellations until the stars began to fall from the sky, and the entire universe had begun to cry, distance must be an illusion, the man must be a genius. Beethoven, his thoughts would get the speed of sound, transforming emotion into music. Lilleval sale di samurval, murval sale di sido. And for a moment, it was like joy was a tangible thing, like you could touch it. Like for the first time, we could watch love and hate dance together in a waltz of such precision and beauty that we finally understood. The history wasn't important. To know the man, all we ever had to do was listen. Tamara has never listened to hip-hop, never danced to the rhythm of the raindrops or fallen asleep to a chorus of chirping crickets. She has been deaf for as long as I've been alive. And ever since the day I first turned 5, my father has said, Joshua, nothing is wrong with Tamara. God just makes some people different. And those 9 letters felt like hammers. So ungracefully by unholy hands shattered my stained glass innocence into shards that can never be pieced back together or do anything more than sever the tie between my sister and I. I waited with patient numbers years, anticipating the second her ears would open like lotuses and allow my sunlight senses to seep into her insides, make her remember all those conversations we must have had when God handpicked us to be siblings souls centuries ago. I still remember her 20th birthday. I would recall my awestruck 11-year-old eyes as I watched deaf men and women of all ages dance together in unison to the vibrations booming so loud that I imagined angels chastising us for disturbing their worship with such beautiful blasphemy until you have seen a deaf girl dance. You know nothing of passion. There was a barricade between us. Never took the time to break down. Never even for a moment thought to pick up a book and look up the sign for sister, for family, for goodbye. I will see you again. Someday, remember the face of your little brother. It is only now that I see. I was never willing to put in the extra effort to love her properly. It was the only person in my family who was not fluent in sign language. I decided to take this time to apologize to Mara. I am sorry for my silence. But true love knows no frequency. So I'll use these hands to speak volumes that cannot be contained within the sounds of sound waves. I will shout at the top of my fingertips till these digits dance and relay mental messages directly to your soul. I know there is no poem that can make up for all the time that we have lost. So please, if you can, just listen.
7:57.